Hello everyone. Today we will see and learn about Git. So we will see what is Git, and then we will go through a demo end to end and see how to use Git in our day-to-day life. So this is agenda for today's demo. So we will see what is Git, then we will see advantages and how to install Git, and then we will do the VS Code configuration, and then we will do all the different operations in Git that is required for our day-to-day development. So what is Git? So Git is a popular version control system. It was created by Linux, and then after that, like, it is now maintained by some other person. Okay, so it is used for tracking code changes, tracking who made changes, coding collaboration. So basically, it is used in enterprise to do like development in between the team. So multiple developers, when they are working together, so they need some tool or like something that help to collaborate and maintain the code at a single centralized location. So what does Git do? So it manages a project with repositories, clone project to work on local copy, control and track changes with staging and committing, branch and merge to allow for work on different parts of version of a project, pull the latest version of the project to a local copy, and push local updates to the main project. So basically, Git is very helpful to pull the changes, do our development, and push our changes, merge changes into our branch, or a lot of things that we are going to learn in this demo, all the operations. So why Git? So over 70% of developers use Git. So in enterprise companies, or like any company, like Git is one of the basic tool which is required and used by all the developers. Okay, the developers can work together from anywhere in the world. So it is basically used to collaborate between the developers in in a single location, multiple locations, or anywhere in the world. Developer can see the full history of the project, and the developers can revert to earlier version of a project. So guys, like, you can understand like how important Git is. So Git is one of the basic tool which is required in day-to-day life of a developer in a company. So this is how it looks like. This is the flow graph, you can say, or different here, like, we have depict different operations that we perform during development phase. So this workspace is nothing but our local machine. Okay, so we do our development. Take example, this is a Node.js application. So we do all our operations. During our operation, we create multiple files. Okay, so now we want to save these files at a secure place so that other developers can pull the same code and do their changes, or add or alter or update the changes. Okay, so for that we run few commands. Okay, and we do this development in VS Code or any other tool. So take example, we are doing this operation in VS Code. Okay, so then we run the git add command. So whatever changes we have done, and only the changes that we want to push in remote repository. For that, first of all, we do like git add and choose the files that we want to put into staging. Okay, staging is a intermediate state, you can say, before pushing or committing into local repository. Okay, so to put the changes which is present in stage, we run git commit command. So once a git commit command is run, it is now a part of local repository. Okay, and by using git push, we are pushing those changes into the remote repository. So the other developer can pull the changes, do the operation on their local machine, and same like this flow, they can commit the changes and then push into remote repository. Okay, if so take example, like our changes someone wants to pull, so he will run git pull command, so that all the changes which is present in the same branch that we have pushed, so it will be pulled into that branch. Okay, and there is one more option is there, git fetch. So git fetch like help us to understand what are the different changes or commits are present. in the remote repository. So for that purpose, we use git page. So all these operations we will see in our upcoming demo, and we will learn like each thing like one by one. So nothing to worry right now. So, yes. Now, guys, like we will see how to install Git on our local machine. Okay, so for that, you can directly go to Google and type Git download. You will get the option to download on the first page or in the first result itself. So just click on that, and based on your operating system, it will automatically detect and give you the option to download here. So since I am using Windows, so it will give me the option to download Windows. In your case, if you are using Mac OS or Linux, you have to you will get the option to download from there, and all the instruction how to install and everything will be present. Okay, so it is a very straightforward. So in case of Mac OS, you can use Brew, install Git. It will install on your machine directly. Other options are also there, but I think Brew is the one of the simplest option. Let's see how we can do this thing on Linux. For Linux, like we have to use, like if you are using Debian or Ubuntu, in that case you need to run this command apt-get install git. Maybe you need to run with sudo option. After that, like you need to add apt repository and give the name of the repository from where it will install. Apt update and apt install git. If you are facing issue while running this command, in that case you need to add the repository. For Fedora, option is here, yum install. Okay, so for all other like Linux flavors, we have different options. So on this page, like you will get all the options, whatever is required for your specific operating system. So in our case, let's see like one option, how to download and install. So just click OK. Based on your CPU architecture, you can download and install. In my case, it is 64-bit. So I will click on 64-bit. So it is downloading now. So now download has been completed. You have to just click on that downloaded exe. Let's see like how to install. So you need to click on next. It will ask for the location where it will install Git. Just click next. Yes. Okay. And there are a lot of options are there. You can go through it and choose. But I think like the default whatever selection is there, that is enough for our case. Okay. So Git. Then click next. This is like editor. It is asking like which is the default editor. We can choose Visual Studio Code. That is fine. In your case, you may like to choose some other different option. That is also fine. Okay, just see like which default editor you like to select. VS Code, Visual Studio Code. Okay, this is fine. Next, keep the default option. Click next. Recommended option, choose it and click on next. Next, next, next. Most of the default option is fine for us in our case, and it is fine for everyone. Like but if you have some advanced use case, then you can choose or change the default configuration or recommended configuration. So let's wait for installation. So I am pausing this video and come back once it is completed. I think our installation is now completed. You can see the completion pop-up. So just click on finish, and we can check whether Git is installed successfully or not. You can check from multiple shells, but let's see like how we can check on Visual Studio Code. So this is Visual Studio Editor, okay, IDE. So here we have one option of like Git, okay. So previously I was getting like this error when I was checking Git version. So let's check again if it is working now, or maybe like we need to. Yes, you can see now it is showing like Git version 2.4 for Windows 1. Previously it were giving error message like this: Git down is not recognized. So this is how like we have successfully installed Git, and in the upcoming uh, demo, we will see how to like configure our Visual Studio and start doing some demo end to end and see all the operations or commands that we can run by using Git. Thank you, guys. So hello everyone. So now we will see how to use Git with VS Code. So by default, VS Code or any other IDE like IntelliJ or Visual Studio, by default they support Git. Okay, so explicitly we don't have to do anything to make the integration between our IDE and Git. So that is a default behavior, and most of the IDE by default support it, because Git is the basic tool which is required for team collaboration, and it is must. So considering this, most of the companies and IDs are supporting this out of box. So nothing you have to do to add any plugin or any. But if you want to enhance the behavior or features, so in that case you can search for like extensions. So consider like we are using VS Code as our coding development platform or ID. So in that case you can come here and search for anything extra that can enhance your experience while doing development. So you can see here like a lot of plugins are present here. Okay, in our case we are not installing anything, but if you like to add more features for Git integration, in that case you can search here and add that. Since we are using ID, VS Code ID, so let's understand like VS Code ID. So I am sure like most of you have seen this ID VS Code. It is very popular, and for any type of development we can use VS Code. It is open source, free, and easy to use. And this look is available now in most of the online IDs also. So okay, so so before starting, like we need to clone our or set up our Git integration with our remote or cloud Git softwares like GitHub or GitLab or Gitbucket. Okay, so these are like providers. These are providing a lot of tools or hosting environment, centralized hosting. Okay, Git we have installed on local machine, so that will help us to do local development. But main idea is to collaborate with other team, and other teams also should able to download the code which is written by us or written by anyone else. If we like to download code which is written or present in enterprise, so we need a centralized location, and that centralized location is provided by a lot of like softwares like GitLab, GitHub, Azure DevOps. Okay, all are providing this repository. So, so this is like GitLab UI. Okay, so I have created one project which is a .NET Core. What is written inside it, like say code, is not important. Right now we are learning Git, so let's focus on only that part only. Okay, so in GitLab we have repository. Okay, inside code we have repository. Same behavior you will see in GitHub also or Azure DevOps. Okay, so right now we are just focusing on code part. So by default, when we create a project in any of these tools like GitHub, Gitbucket, or GitLab, so it provides us to create a repository where we can keep our code, so that any other team members who have access to this project can download it and start working on it. So consider like we have added these many files, okay, and now we want to pull these files on our local machine, okay. In short, like we want to do the development on this repo, okay. This is centralized or remote repo we say, because it is hosted on internet. Okay, so how we can pull this or pull these files in our local machine and start development. So consider you are a new developer. you join a company. Now you want to start or contributing in this code base. So how you can do that? So that is what we are going to see from hands-on code. So first of all, we need to create a personal access token. This personal access token is act as a like authentication credentials, so that our local development, when we start like pulling code from our VS Code, we should able to connect with our private repository, because most of this code base will be present in a secure environment where you need like credentials. Okay, so there are different type of credentials are there. You can use private public keys also, SSS keys also, or you can use username password also, or there is a way of connecting to this cloud repos using personal access token. So let's check with personal access token. So in this demo we are going to see like how we can use a personal access token. Okay, but in future video I will try to show one demo how we can connect to this cloud repo using SSS keys, that is private and public keys. Okay, so this feature is available in all the public or cloud Git softwares like GitLab, Azure DevOps, or GitHub. Okay, so you have to go in your profile. Okay, in this case, and then search for personal access token. So if you see on the left side, access token is there. So okay, already I have created one, but let's see how to create again. Okay, so you need to click on add new token, use some name, consider like we are giving Git token. When it should get expire, you can select that option also. Let's consider it will expire on 26. Uh, let's make it big, 30th. Okay, and after that these are the scope, like whatever credential will be generated, that credential can be used for doing all these operations. But right now we just want to commit and pull changes from our repo. So consider like the write and read repository, only these two things we have given, and create the token. Okay, so token has been created. We need to copy the token and keep it at one safe place. So consider like we are keeping at this place. Okay, this is temporary. I will delete it once the demo is done. Okay, so I am keeping here. Okay, so how to use this token now to connect from our VS Code? Okay, so we are at a, so let's see like how we can open, or from where we can do like Git related operations. Okay, so in VS Code, if you go, if you click on view button and then click on a terminal button, you will see a terminal is open. Okay, you can write any like Git commands here, like take example git v, so it will give the version or any other things. Okay, you can do from here. Okay, or if you like to use a separate terminal, that is also fine. Okay, you have to go to your directory and then you can run like so from both places it is possible. But most of the time, like since we are opening this particular terminal and we are going to do the code here, okay, we are going to write the code. So doing the operations related to git in the same id is very easy. There is no need of opening one more window, go there and then write commands. It is very easy to do multiple things at in one window itself. Okay, so that is the reason we are using VS Code plus like this terminal feature of VS Code. So we can write our command prompt. Okay. So before like doing the integration with the remote Git software, that is GitLab, we need to initialize our ID or VS Code, so that VS Code is aware about like how to connect with uh, our GitLab and do the operations. Okay. The first operation we have to do is like we have to configure the Git with our username and credentials. Okay, so there are some setup commands are there, GitLab setups command. So let's see what are those. Okay, so first command is, so let me make it a little bigger so that you can, so that it will be easy to view and understand. So first command is to configure our username. What is the username? So that whenever we are doing the checking, so anyone else, so it will be like configure in the history. So whatever like changes are there, our username will be visible like this, so that so that it will be easy for others to understand who has done the changes. The first thing is like we have to configure our username. So let's consider like I am giving this as a username. Okay, amit.s. Okay, git config this. This is the username. Next, we have to configure our email ID. Okay, we can give anything. Let me give. Okay, so after that, these are two very important configurations before starting coding or before starting communicating with GitLab or GitHub or anything. So this is not specific to GitLab. It is like global configurations. So anywhere like now you are doing any operation, so your name will be go there as like it changes has been done by you. Okay, so this is very important. Okay, so other thing is when we are doing communicating with our GitLab, okay, or GitHub or any other tool. In that case, like whenever you are doing any operation, take example, you are doing operation Git and you are cloning, okay, Git clone, and you are giving the URL. So every time you need to provide like your credentials, username and password, okay, or a token. So in that case, it is very difficult. Like every time you have to do operations, there may be like cases like take example, you have multiple projects, okay, not just only one project, but your credentials are same. So consider like this many repos are present, okay, this many projects are present, which are separate project, and you are working on many of these. Okay, consider two projects or three projects. In that case, like it is not worth it to like again and again putting credential. So at global level also you can set the credential. So there is a one git command that will set your credential once, then you able to communicate with any project that is present inside this GitLab. Okay, this GitLab instance. Okay, what is that command? Let's see. Okay, so that command is this one. Okay, git config global GitLab access and your token. Okay, so token. What is our token value? Token value was this one. Let's replace here. Let's make it little larger. Paste here. So you can see here. So this credential would be used for any project, not just for a single project. Okay, so this will be saved at a global level, and then you can use this credential for multiple projects. Okay, to do multiple operations. So this is now set. So now see, let's see like how we can clone. Okay, so consider like I am working on this particular project. I want this code to be cloned on my local machine so that I can do operations on it locally, do all the operations, Git operations, and once my work is done, I will push it. This is how we can do. So in any UI, okay, or any software, Git software, either it is GitLab, GitHub, or Azure DevOps, okay, you check anything, okay, any software, you will get the option to clone it. Okay, so if you click here, okay, so same option you will get in any other software. Okay, so there will be two options. Either you can clone using SSS. In this case you will need SSS keys, okay, but we are cloning here HTTPS. Okay, so in this case we already created GitLab private token, okay, or pat token. So in that case we are going to use this one. Okay, just copy on this. Again, like same options are available here also. Okay, but let's see like how we can run the command. Okay, so let's open, put here git clone, and then our URL. There is no need of putting credentials, okay, because already we have set it at the global level. So there is no need of putting uh, uh, credentials, okay. But in case you are not setting at the global level, in that case, like here, you need to give your username, colon, password at the end. Okay, this is how like you need to provide your credential, and it is very like not very intuitive. It is difficult to understand, and also like so this is why like we are trying to avoid this. Otherwise, like with every URL or any operation, every operation you need to provide such credentials. That is not very useful or very easy to use. Okay, so let's click on this. So you can see here, like now it has started cloning. Okay, so this is our first command, git clone. Git clone pull the code from remote machine to our local machine. Okay, so again git clone. Again, this window will open, and you can see here like multiple of options has been provided. Okay, first is like go to browser, do the sign in and all those things, or you can provide token also. Okay, you need to provide like your username and then personal access token. So our uh, email ID we can put here, and the personal access token that we have generated, let's paste it. Now you can see uh, I think like it is done, and we can see the same code that we have on remote machine. Okay, so this is our like GitLab instance, and here we have all these files, same files now present on our local machine, right? Okay, so this has come. So you can see like how we have authenticate. There are multiple options are there: username, password, token, or login from browser. So using any one of them, you can git clone. So git clone is the first command that we have seen to clone the code from our remote repository to our local machine. Okay, so now code is present on our local machine. Okay, so now we will see the other options or other commands that we are going to run and do our git operations. So let's see like let's do some operations on our code that we have cloned or page or like downloaded from our remote repository. So okay, so let's consider like let's see in CI deploy. Let's make few changes. Define your deployment script. Let's put one more exclamation mark, and then this is like we can save this file. Okay, now this file is saved. Okay, now file is saved. Now we can check the status, or we can see like how many files has been modified. Okay, we can do any operation. We can add one more file also. Consider like one more file is there. Okay, demo git dot. Okay, now two changes are there. One is new file, and one is like alter date the existing file. So let's see the git status. Okay, so right now if you see like we are outside our like .NET code. Okay, so .NET core is the folder that got automatically created based on our project name. First of all, we need to go in this folder first. Okay, because we are outside. We are at Git demo, but all our code is present inside .NET core. So let's cd into that folder. Okay, now run the same command git status. Okay, so you can see here like git status is giving us the status of all the changes that we have done, okay, till now in the in this particular folder. Okay, so it is showing like there are two things are there. First is modified, we have modified this file. Okay, and second one is related to a new file added. Okay, untracked file means we have added one file. Okay, so now we want to stage these changes. Okay, how we can stage? Okay, so we can add git add dot. Okay, so dot means it will add all the files which is present or which has been modified. okay, or added. For that, git add this command. Okay, now let's see again git status. Okay, now it is showing like two files has been staged. Okay, so this is showing like now these two file got staged and there is no uh, untracked changes. Okay, now these two are ready to commit. Okay, so how we can commit? There is a command git commit dash a dash m, and we can give some message like first changes. Okay, this is message. So we are committing some few changes. Okay, so we need to give some message like why we modified this. Okay, why we added this, or a short description is required. Okay, so that is easy to track. It will maintain the history. Some other person or our colleague wants to see like what changes you did and why you did. So he can see like these two files you have added, but your message will give him or convey him the message that why you did this. Okay, whether you are doing new development or you are making bug fixes or any other reason is there, so you can mention here. Okay, and after that just click on git commit. Okay, it will show like two changes. Okay, so now this like got committed into local repository. Now you want to push these changes into the remote. You want to push these changes into GitLab. Okay, this is here till now it is not reached here. Okay, it is still at your local repository. Okay, this after commit we have added git add will put into staging and git commit will put into local repository. Okay, now to push those two changes, file changes, okay, you need this command. Okay, git push. So once you run this command, all your changes will be pushed to remote. You can see here like after this it is telling us that changes has been pushed to this particular repository. Okay, now we can come here and see like whether those changes has come here or not. If you remember, we have added one file here. See, demo git. Okay, 1 minute ago. So this is how like guys like we do local development and push into remote machine. Now my changes has come here. Now if any other person is there who wanted to pull these changes, he can run the command on his local machine and he can do it. Okay, so let's understand this by a whiteboard. Okay, so till now what we have done. Okay, so we have like GitLab. Okay, this is nothing but a remote repository. Repo. Okay, this was present there. Then we joined. Okay, on our Visual Studio Code. Okay, this is our Visual Studio Code. Consider. Okay, VS Code. Okay, then we run few commands. First of all was like git clone. So this code come at our local machine. Okay, we did few changes here. Okay, we added one file. Okay, add file or alter existing file. Okay, these two operations we did. After that, what will we which command we run? After that, we run git add, git commit, and then git push. Okay, so git push is putting all these changes back into remote repo. This is our local repo considered repository. Okay, and this is remote repository. Okay, so if you remember, all our changes is now at present at remote. So consider like one of our team member, he ran the same commands. He wants to modify or add his changes here. Okay, so what he can do, he can again run same commands on his local VS Code or local terminal. This is second person. Okay, this is person 2. Okay, this is P2. Consider like person 2. This is P1. Okay, Okay, now he is doing all operation locally. Okay, first of all he need to run git clone. Okay, if he has already run the git clone and he wants to pull the latest changes, in that case he can run git pull. Okay, git pull. Why? Because already changes, he has done the git clone. So initial changes are already present, but new changes that we have push here, okay, these changes, those changes are not there on his local machine. Now he needs those changes also in on his machine. Okay, so he will run git pull. So after running git pull, the new changes that whatever we have put here, those changes will also come on his machine. Okay, now he can add his changes. He's doing his development. Okay, and then he's pushing his changes here using git push. Okay, so this is how team members are working, okay, in enterprise applications or in a company. Okay, so multiple members. Now there is only P1, P2 is there, but there are chances like there is P3, P4, P5, any number of people can work, and all are working and contributing to the same software or same GitLab repo. So likewise we can have multiple repos. Okay, I have shown you the demo. See here, like, okay, so this is like GitLab instance, and inside that we have multiple repos. Okay, see here, like so many repos are there. So consider like this is front end, this is back end, this is related to some other project. Okay, this is related to Node.js. So multiple projects are there. People are working on like front end, back end. So multiple repos we are maintaining. We are not putting all the code inside one repo or one project. Okay, and each project have its unique name and a unique path. Okay, so if you want to work on this, you need to clone this project. Okay, in a separate folder. Okay, likewise you can clone other folders. So consider like you are working on CI, .NET CI. So it has its own unique name and unique path. So again, if you want to do clone this on your local machine, you have to go here. You have to you need to copy this path, and on your VS Studio ID, you need to create a separate folder. Okay, and then clone there. That's it. Then you can contribute to the both the project, and you have to run the same commands like git commit, git push, git pull. So these are like basic commands that we have seen. Okay, so let's see like how we can see the history, git history. That is very very important. Like, so a lot of people has done the changes. Okay, so let's see like what is git history. Okay, and how to check that. If you come here, okay, so we have already checking some code or push some code inside it. So if you want to see the history, so we will click on this and we can see like history. See here, like that is the reason we have given like commit message, first changes. So this is displaying here. It is showing the date also. Okay, when this changes has done, it is showing the time also, and it is giving the name also who has done the changes. Tech Ninja. Okay, so if you click on this, okay, or you can click on this particular thing, and you can see what are the changes that has been pushed by this person. Okay, so you can see the changes. Two changes has been done. Okay, and you can scroll down and see. Okay, it is showing the two changes. One is the new file. Okay, and one is like this is the existing file that we have modified. So that's why it is showing in red. It is the old, and this is the new change in green. And here also you can see what changes is done. So this is the darker part. So this is showing like we have added only this particular explanation mark. Okay. So this is how like we can do. We can check the history. We can check the history on uh, our ID by using git command also. Okay, so how we can see that? We can see the history by using git log command. Okay, so let's clear this screen first. Okay, and there is a one command git log. So it will show the all the logs. Okay, that has been recorded for this particular repo. Okay, .NET code. So likewise we have like we can have like multiple repos, and it will show the log for that particular git repo in which you are currently on the path. Okay, we are on this path right now, .NET code. So it is showing all the changes that has happened. So this is our name, and this is the author name and email ID, and the date and time, like when this changes has been happened. Okay, and this is like our main branch, and this is head, it is pointing to the main. So in next demo we will see what are branches, how we can do branch operations and all those things. Right now we are just seeing like the basic git commands. So that is like a git configuration setup, then git um, commit, git push, git add, git clone, so all these operations. Okay, so these are very, very important things. And even we have seen the git log also on our local machine and even on the remote machine. Hope guys this was useful to you. You have learned something from this particular demo. And please like and subscribe and click on bell icon. This will give motivation to improve my videos and keep putting more and more useful videos, and that will help you. Thank you everyone. Bye.